Hi everyone. Well, listen to my tale of woe. After spending 5 months in the desert working on Aaron's bus and a couple of months helping my son out around his place, finally decided to get back on the road. So I took off, drove north for about 2.5 hours, stopped to where I was going to stop for the night, and lunchtime, was getting ready, looked at my battery monitor, and it said my batteries were at 8 volts. 8. That's not good. So I put off lunch real quick, grabbed the multimeter, checked. I was getting 37.6 volts off each of the 2 solar panels on the roof, which is normal. I checked at the charge controller. It was coming into the charge controller. Checked the power to the batteries, 8%. On that particular charge controller, there's also a spot for the load, so it monitors the load, 0 coming out. So there's nothing going out into the load, and the so charge controller fried. Well, who knows? It's electronic, you know. Those things, I've had computers that have lasted 7-8 years, and all of a sudden something fries. The only outward appearance I saw was the negative connection. The white plastic covering on that was, or is, a little bit brown, so I don't know what happened. When it went, that might be when my hardwired in hard drive fried itself. When we cracked that case, there was a char mark. So I'm thinking in there maybe there's a capacitor let loose and sent a surge through. My refrigerator also has not been working correctly. Starting at about the same time, I thought it was the fact that it was getting really hot and it just couldn't keep up. So anyway, before the charge controller, before the batteries got that low, I had replaced the refrigerator. Different model, different company, same style. So freezer on one side, refrigerator on the other. Anyway, so I called up the manufacturer of the charge controller, and there's nothing, I'm not gonna say anything bad about them. It's just these things happen with electronics. They suggested that I send it back. They will do a diagnostic on it. They will let me know. Gut feeling, probably not going to cost that much to fix. But they also suggested that I buy another one and have, when this one gets fixed, if it's cost effective, then I'll have a spare. So I talked to Jax Austin. He suggested I get a hold of AM Solar and talk to them, and they gave me a good deal on a Victron model 100/50, so a 50 amp. This one, the load does not go through. It is actually solar power goes in here, goes out to the batteries here. So this is also Bluetooth, so I can get it all set up and monitor it right off my smartphone, which is sort of cool. I'll still have the battery monitor and so on, but so let me turn you around and I'll show you where we're starting at. Hey, this is my current setup. This is the Midnight Solar, the Kid. That's the charge controller that some component went bad and fried. I don't know if you can't really see it, but there's a little bit brown discoloration there. Right now it sort of looks like it's a mess because this shut-off switch was on the coming from the batteries with a charge controller, or where it was the load side, so I could turn off the power to that. This DC circuit breaker is from the panels, and so I could isolate each system, and that is my RV battery charger. The little red light is indicating that I'm plugged into shore power. So anyway, all this has got to all come out of here, and I get reconfigured. I am going with lithium batteries. I'm going to upgrade to that, so that battery charger does not put out enough power for it. I've got one coming that will replace that. But for right now, because I'm also parked in the shade, I'm going to disconnect it from the batteries, hook it up to the load, and that way I'm just running everything on the bus. This comes out, the new charge controller is going to go in there. AM Solar sent me a thing on how to hook it all up, and with them putting this battery disconnect switch in up here to disconnect the solar panels from the charge controller. So that's going to go up in here, and 120 amp circuit breaker is going to replace this 50, connecting the charge controller to the batteries. And then with that one, it does not, the load does not go through the battery or through the charge controller. So I've got a second switch that's going to go from the hot, from the positive from the batteries up to the load, and that way I can turn off the load. I can basically, by turning off switches or popping the circuit breakers, I can isolate the various components. So that's part of today's project. This is the battery bank, and it's all, I did this over the course of 3 years and put in 2 batteries, then I added a third one, and then I added 2 more. I've been told after that is that they should all get bought at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, these 2 batteries up here in the front, this one and this one, I just checked the water on them and ended up adding a half a gallon to these 2. I think they're fried. I think they're just no good anymore. But what I'm going to do is pull these 2 out. I'm going to disconnect this whole thing and put the regular battery charger on each of the other 3, and charge them up and see if they'll hold a charge. If they will, then maybe somebody down the line will be able to use them. And I got the storage, so. But if these other 2 don't hold a charge, as I believe they are fried, I will just send them into the recycling system. And I mentioned lithium. So I've got Lion Energy. They are a Utah-based company, and these are, according to tests done where AM Solar tried to abuse these things, try to see what they could do. They outperformed every other battery out there, including Battleborns. Cost about the same. These are 105 amp hours. My current batteries are, the lead acid, are 80 amp hours each, which comes down to 200 usable amp hours. These are 105, so I'll be gaining 10 amp hours of usage, and they come with more than enough bolts to attach to, and these are way lighter than the other ones. So no outgassing, lithium. These, I think, is not a big deal if I add another one to it. So So now I gotta tear into the system and just pull everything out of the way and start putting it all back together. Well, I got as much as I'm gonna get done today done. I have the switch here on the positive side coming down from the solar, so I could turn this, isolate the panels. I've got so it comes in, hooks in to the proper terminals here on the charge controller, comes out the 120 amp circuit breaker on its way to the battery, and the ground just goes straight to the battery. I ran out of black, so I went to white here. Coming up, the load does not go through this, so it goes over here to the fuse block, and another one comes up from the battery and over. The other white line and the other red line are to this battery charger. This switch here is from the battery to the load, so I have it in the off position now, and I'm running on that. It's all way, and like I said, I'm waiting until I get the lithium or the battery charger that'll work with lithium, and I'll get that hooked up. Right now, because the batteries are new and they aren't fully charged and I'm in the shade, I'm gonna let it go by and just let this slowly charge the batteries while I'm running off of short power. Now, let's show you what's really cool about this. You know, it's a smart one. It is connected by Bluetooth to my phone. So let's go to the phone. So one thing I thought was pretty cool is they got a QR code on the charge controller and on the box it came in that'll take you to their website and give you all the documentation you want. All right, so here's the app, and it is PIN code to protect it. So I can actually set this up if I had Wi-Fi to be able to monitor it from anywhere, but I probably won't have on I Wi-Fi when I need it. So but this is giving me what's going on. I'm bringing in about 8-9 watts from the solar. The voltage coming in is going up and down mainly because I am in the shade, so it's not going to give me real good readings. The batteries are reading at 13.2 volt, or 2 volts, and right now it's in bulk mode. I've got, like I mentioned, I've got it set up so that I am running on shore power, not off the batteries. I want to get the batteries fully charged, and might take a couple days just to be in the shade for the majority of the afternoon. You know, I could pull it out in the sun, but hey, it's hot out. Shade is nice. So once I get the other charger in, I can hook that up, and that'll be a whole nother way to do it. Down the line, I probably will be adding a battery isolator set up for the lithium, so that I can charge those as I drive. Just another way to charge it up. I'm not in any big rush. So that's it. If you are looking at replacing parts of your system like I did, upgrading, or you're starting right out and you want someplace that'll really work with you to design a system that'll work for what you're doing, get a hold of AM Solar. They're more than happy to walk you through it all, help design the system, and they're a real quick turnaround. I think I ordered it on a Tuesday, and I got them on Thursday. Yeah, because I didn't do anything yesterday, this Saturday. So within a couple days, I got everything. So there you go. I've got a week to go waiting for that charger. Then I get back on the road because I really want to get back on the road. I want to do some exploring and share some stuff with you. I might have one other project to do while I'm waiting. We'll see if I get to it. All right. See you later, YouTube. Be safe.
Off the wagon and he spread out his ears. Brace yourself.